Hey guys, welcome back to an episode by BW2, and today we just got a quick little video finally showing this off. It's been a project that's been in the works for a few months actually, because a few things happened in between. But yeah, I've been planning to do this for a while because, as you guys know, I used to collect Lego a ton. Now I only collect like the minifigures, because of course I kind of grew out of collecting sets and stuff. But yeah, I still like collecting the minifigures. I like collecting Lego minifigures and Funko Pops. But I used to just have them on base plates in these three cubbies right here, and that's not a very good display. So I wanted something better. So I looked around, and we were going to make them from hand in our shop. But I found these, but I still modified them and worked on them myself. Yeah, this is the new display right here. So yeah, you can see it took up a lot of space. I don't know, you can really tell how big these are in person, but I always just use my hand for reference. But it's pretty darn big, and you can see how many minifigures are in a case. But yeah, I got two shadow boxes off of Etsy. The first ever thing I've ordered off of Etsy actually, but I think they're like $120 each or something like that. But supposedly they're actually handmade. And I can't remember what wood they said that they're made out of, but actual like real wood, which is kind of surprising. And then it's got plexiglass, I believe. Yeah, and they actually swing open, and they came with like keys, not like legitimate keys, just, you know, keys that you can unlock, like those little boxes for like school supplies or whatever. Not like ones that only work with these, so it's not like they're gonna be super secure or anything. Yeah, this whole door actually does swing open, and I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but try not to pull it off there. But yeah, you can see just like that, it all comes open, and yeah, it's not super heavy because it's not like tempered glass or anything. But yeah, you can see that does swing open for access to it, and then it just locks underneath of that right there. So yeah, and then you just close it like how you would usually, and there's actually no movement, because I will say hanging these up was quite a pain. But yeah, so basically how I did it, I'll put pictures on it as I'm talking about it, but as you can see, there's blue lines going like all the way through of studs. So actually, I had a few of the base plates already, but I actually went to Target and bought out the rest of them that they had there. Just a big old base plate, second or what by what studs. I cut them into strips of I believe 4x12 studs or whatever, or not 4x12, 4 by something. But yeah, I can see it actually goes 4 deep, because it actually, there's these little tiny lips on the edges of the little shelves in the shadow boxes, and it actually fits like perfectly, and there's no sliding or anything. But yeah, so I cut them up like that just with scissors actually, and then once I got them like that, I just hot glued them in there, and yeah, it just fit perfectly. And then the ones on the end, I just had to cut a little bit shorter, but then they all fit in there perfectly. There's no excess space on either edge. And yeah, and it says each one can fit like 180 minifigures or something. I haven't like counted exactly how many I have, but I'm somewhere around 300, I believe. But yeah, this is all of them right here. I do have duplicates of some minifigures. Those I just keep in like my duplicate minifigure things, where I keep all my extra pieces and accessories and minifigure parts and stuff. So there's no duplicates here. Even like the little Star Wars droids and stuff, I made sure to not put any duplicates. Just because I don't think there needs to be duplicates in a minifigure display, unless if you're army building or something. So you can see they're not both completely filled, but that's good because now I can continue to build onto it as I go along. But I did put them in order. So sadly, when I do add more minifigures, like say if I add some Marvel minifigures, I'm gonna have to move all of them outwards. That's why, like, right now I am in the middle of collecting some more, so I'm gonna wait until I get all the ones I'm planning to get, and then I'll add them all in there at once, so I don't have to do it multiple times. But yeah, you can see today for me it's August 5th, so this set actually just came out on the August 1st, so I just got that. So they're not in there yet, but I do have the full Bad Batch in minifigure. Currently I'm just currently I'm just keeping them right there. So yeah, so there is the full Bad Batch right there. Really great minifigures. And I also got Bro Thor's new Asgard just so I could get a Bro Thor and Korg Meek. Yeah, I'm also just waiting on the new Mandalorian starship for Bo-Katan, Gar Saxon, and the Mandalorian Loyalist. And then Duel on Mandalore for the new Darth Maul, and I already have Ahsoka, so it's the same one, so a duplicate that won't be going in there. I'm mainly just getting that set for the Mandalorian Vault, and the because I can also put that in there since it's kind of like the carbonite piece. And then the new Darth Maul, because my current one right there is just a custom one. So, but the new Darth Maul is, in my opinion, the best one Lego's ever made. But other than that, the only other thing is I will be making a video on it actually, but the new MCU CMF series, really excited for that. Look into that if you haven't yet, but I'll actually probably be making a video on that because that's probably going to be the first CMF series where I'm actually going to try getting the whole series, but I'm actually going to be buying 16 bags of those, so that's going to be like $80 on just minifigures. So yeah, but after that, that's all the minifigures I'm planning to collect as of right now, and after I get that CMF series, which comes out on September 1st, I'm going to add them all in here. But that'll be a pretty big job because I got to move them all down and everything. But yeah, so, but I'm going to do like a video where I'm going to be going through and doing a little unbagging and stuff because I usually like watching those videos, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So yeah, but watch out for that. But basically, just going on from these, basically told you how I made them. But then I just spent the next couple hours just sticking all the minifigures in there. And then they kind of just sat out there in that room out there for a few months just because I was kind of planning where I was going to put them in my room. And then I got that like really bad cold for like a week and a half or so. And then after that, I fractured my hip. So then I wasn't able to really walk around, and I mean, I couldn't even come downstairs for like a week and a half. And then for the next month or so, I couldn't really do anything at all. Lifting these, of course, and whatnot. So yeah, so then pretty much right after I fractured my hip, I finally got back to it, and I finally hung them up. And yeah, made an Instagram post, but I was waiting to make this video until I got the Bad Batch shuttle, because this is kind of this completed. Because now the only thing that's going to change over here is just adding more minifigures, but of course that's not anything that you can really notice right here. So yeah, so I will just continue to add minifigures, but as right now, this is how it looks. So yeah, and then me and my dad hung these up. It actually took a few tries because these are really weird, because since they're handmade, they're not like exact. So it's like this one, like these two screws, because there's like in the very corners, there's just two screws. But the measurement between those two was kind of different from these two, so like we had to have like different measurements for each of these. And yeah, and then it actually took us a while. And my dad's built some big buildings overseas and tons of houses, so you could definitely tell that these were weird if it was even stumping him. But yeah, you can see we did actually get them like perfectly parallel, so I'm not excited when I move out officially and have to hang those up again in like my house or whatever. But yeah, the only minifigures that aren't in there is these ones, because of course big figs don't actually fit in there. So I've got all my Hulk minifigs and Thanos right there, and then the Enderman is just too tall, and then these two snakes because Python scales, because their tails are too long to fit in there. So yeah, but they are on extra base plates up there. But yeah, basically how I did is I put all my Marvel characters, and then all my DC characters, and then Star Wars, and then Lego Movie / Lego Movie 2. And then I kind of went miscellaneous. I put like some Minecraft, SpongeBob, TMNT, and just some random things. And then I put all my Ninjago stuff, and then so on. And then the final thing there is like other CMF minifigures I got. But yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So then, other than the showcase itself in front of here, of course I made a whole video on this, but the stand for my 20th anniversary slave one right there. But also recently this was on sale. Instead of $60, it was $40. So I finally picked up one of these, the helmet, and of course it's from one of my favorite Star Wars characters, Boba Fett. And it's also kind of neat because if you want to, you can put his little viewfinder down. but looks a lot better with it up, in my opinion. But yeah, then I also got these. This I got because, I mean, after the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, those ships kind of match up, since they were neck and neck in the show, the finale there. But also, I just really wanted, believe it or not, like that new helmet two-piece mold for Darth Vader has been out for years, and I haven't gotten one, and I just really wanted one. So yeah, definitely one of my more favorite minifigures now. But yeah, it doesn't have the arm printing, but I just love that Darth Vader minifigure, because the only one I've ever had is that one right there from the Empire Strikes Out DVD thing with this little medal, and it's just the one-piece old helmet that they've been using for up until like 2015 or whatever. And other than that, it just came with like that Luke, which I also have my custom Luke, and then that Luke. And then it just came with like that Imperial officer right there. But yeah, and then of course the Imperial shuttle. It's pretty darn iconic and whatnot. And then of course the Bad Batch shuttle. I've been enjoying the Bad Batch quite a bit. There's like 2 episodes left. But yeah, and I think their shuttle is just really, really cool. I think we've all been hyped up for this set for a while. I just built it yesterday because I just got it yesterday. And yeah, pretty darn wide there as well, as you can see. But if you were wondering what is standing on, or what they're standing on, I actually got these about a week ago or so, and they're from iDisplay It. I'll link them down in the description, but yeah, they make a whole bunch of different stands and cases for like Legos. You just put whatever stand you need. Like this one's got a longer one, that one's more of like a square. Then you just stick the little orange studs in there wherever you need it to connect it to the bottom of your thing that you're putting on it, and then yeah, you can stand it up. And the reason I did for these two is because of course they're similar in the way that they have the wings that fold out like that. So if you just have them on display sitting there, they can't have the wings out. So this one's got to have the wings up, and that one too. And they just really don't look good like that, because the underside of the wings just doesn't really look that great. But when you display them like this, they look really, really cool. Because the rest of the stuff, like, I like displaying the slave one like that. But like the rest of these ships, it doesn't really matter. They can just sit there and look cool. But yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for that whole look over there. I think it looks very, very cool, and they're not like obnoxiously huge that they're blocking off that whole thing or anything. Yeah. But over here, I actually moved some stuff around. I might as well just show my Funko Pop collection while I'm at it. Of course, I will still be adding to this as well. I'm currently waiting on 3 more Funko Pops right now. But yeah, this is it for right now. But basically, you guys know I had all like my movie replicas and stuff right there, but I moved everything right there, which is where I had all those movies, because all those movies on that shelf right there used to go all the way down here, but I kind of made it parallel. So yeah, so those movies have been there, but now I got them right there, so it's just 2 shelves of movies all nice and parallel looking, and then I put my Funko Pops in front of both of them, so it's just nice and symmetrical now, I think. But yeah, now I got just my movie replicas and stuff that I've made and got going all the way down that shelf there, and then the Funko Pop. So yeah, I've gotten quite a few since I probably last showed it off, since I don't do day vlogs or anything anymore. But yeah, just a quick little showcase. Yeah, getting quite big now, I think. And the only ones I'm waiting on right now is the new 21 Pilots Tyler and Josh Pops, and then the Scarlet Witch from WandaVision, because I pre-ordered it back in March, and for some reason it said it wasn't going to arrive until August, so I've already been waiting on it for that long. But then yesterday it got delayed, and it said they're just going to email me when it's available. So yeah, kind of ridiculous. I don't know why it's taking umpteen million months to come, but eventually it'll get here. So yeah. And I got a pop protector for that, not because it's like a rare pop or anything, but that's the one, of course, that I wrote on the top. I don't know if you can see, but that's the one I got from the CenturyLink Field. Now it's called Lumen Field, but CenturyLink Field, which is the stadium for the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. So that's just kind of a special box to me. But yeah, so that's the updated Funko Pop collection. So I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, so I'm just gonna keep on adding minifigures to that spot and Funko Pops to that spot. But that's pretty much it. So yeah. I don't think there's much else to talk about. Just watch out for that Marvel CMF series, which will of course be coming in very early September when the series comes out. And yeah, and whatever other videos come. So that's pretty much it for this video. So make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.